Ladies and gentlemen, I finally made it here. I know many of you have heard by now Marjorie Taylor Greene has stepped down from her position in Congress. Donald Trump had vowed to back her opponent because she was up for reelection. And a lot of MAGA has turned on her. And according to her, she's been getting threats. And it's all because she was loudly supporting releasing the Epstein files. And you know how funny Donald Trump has been acting about that, especially over these last several months. But I don't know why he's so upset with people. He was the one that ran on that. He ran on releasing the Epstein files. Then, when it came time to do it, he started trying to get out of it. Well, he signed the bill, and there's got to be a catch to it. He went from fighting it to going along with it. Can't trust nothing when it's Donald Trump. So Marjorie Taylor Greene, who was once one of his closest supporters and allies, is stepping down. Donald Trump has been very critical of her and has said some pretty harsh things out in the media about her, because that's who Donald Trump really truly is. So I guess loyalty to him is you don't bring up the Epstein files. You bring it up, then you become his enemy. So she learned the hard way. She is stepping back to become just a regular citizen. And I have her statement that she made on Fox News. So I'm going to play that. It's about 10 minutes long. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Right, so this is her announcing her resignation. Please give me a 1 if you can see my screen. Oh, yeah, I don't feel sorry for Marjorie Taylor Greene. She has said a lot of very nasty things and said some very negative things about people in our community. So, no, I don't feel bad for her. She is getting a dose of her own medicine. So, you can't forget how unruly she was acting the entire time. It's not until recently she has done an about face, but that does not negate nor does it erase all of the things that she has said in the past. So no, she don't get no pass. She definitely did have an FAFO moment. She just never thought Donald Trump was going to turn on her, but he did. All right, y'all, let's get started.
Hi, everyone. I've always represented the common American man and woman as a member of the House of Representatives, which is why I've always been despised in Washington, D.C., and just never fit in. Americans are used by the political industrial complex of both political parties, election cycle after election cycle, in order to elect whichever side can convince Americans to hate the other side more. And the results are always the same. No matter which way the political pendulum swings, Republican or Democrat, nothing ever gets better for the common American man or woman. The debt goes higher, corporate and global interests remain Washington's sweethearts, American jobs continue to be replaced, whether it's by illegal labor or legal labor by visas or just shipped overseas. Small businesses continue to be swallowed by big corporations. Americans' hard earned tax dollars always fund foreign wars, foreign aid, and foreign interests. And the spending power of the dollar continues to decline. The average American family can no longer survive on a single breadwinner's income, as both parents have to work in order to simply survive. And today, many in my children's generation feel hopeless for their future and don't think they will ever realize the American dream. and that breaks my heart. I ran for Congress in 2020 and have fought every single day believing that Make America Great Again meant America first. I have one of the most conservative voting records in Congress, defending the First Amendment, Second Amendment, unborn babies, because I believe God creates life at conception, and I love to fight for the little guy. Strong, safe borders, I have fought hard for that. I've fought against COVID tyrannical insanity and mandated mass vaccinations. And I've never voted to fund foreign wars with your hard-earned tax dollars. However, with almost 1 year into our majority, the legislature has been mostly sidelined. We endured an 8-week shutdown, wrongly, resulting in the House not working for the entire time. And we are entering campaign season, which means all courage leaves and only safe campaign re-election mode is turned on in the House of Representatives. During the longest shutdown in our nation's history, I raged against my own speaker and my own party for refusing to proactively work diligently to pass the plan to save Americans' health care and protect Americans from outrageous, overpriced, and unaffordable health insurance policies. The House should have been in session working every day to fix this disaster. But instead, America was force-fed disgusting political drama once again from both sides of the aisle on television every single day. My bills, which reflect many of President Trump's executive orders, like calling for a new census counting Americans only to draw new districts, making English the official language of the U.S., making it a felony to medically trans a minor, and other bills like eliminating capital gains taxes on the sale of your primary home and eliminating H-1B visas, just sit. They all sit collecting dust. That's how it is for most members of Congress bills. The Speaker never brings them to the floor for a vote. Many common Americans are no longer easily convinced by paid political propaganda spokespersons and consultants on TV and paid shills on social media, obediently serving with cult-like conviction to force others to swallow the political party talking points. Because they know how much credit card debt they have, they know how much their bills have gone up over the past 5 years. They actually do their own grocery shopping and know food costs too much. Their rent has increasingly gone up and up. They have been outbid by corporate asset managers too many times when they put in an offer to buy a house. They have been laid off after being forced to train their visa holding replacement. The college degree they were told to earn only left them in debt with no big 6-figure salary. They see more homeless people than ever on their own community streets. They can't afford health insurance or practically any insurance, and they just aren't stupid. These are the people I represent and love because that is who all of my family and friends are, common Americans. I've been blessed to represent the 14th District of Georgia for 5 years. The district is filled with some of the most wonderful, kind-hearted, God-fearing, patriotic, hardworking people you will ever meet. Good, regular, common Americans. I've worked hard to bring taxpayer dollars back home to help district needs. I impeached Biden's Secretary of Homeland after watching my constituents die as he facilitated dangerous open border invasion into America. And I led the effort to defund hard left politically biased NPR and PBS and the corrupt USAID, and I did that as chair of the DOJ subcommittee. I have fought harder than almost any other elected Republican to elect Donald Trump and Republicans to power. I traveled the country for years. I spent millions of my own money. I missed precious time with my family that I can never get back. And I showed up in places like outside the New York courthouse in Collect Pond Park against a raging leftist mob as Trump faced Democrat lawfare. Meanwhile, most of the establishment Republicans who secretly hate him and who stabbed him in the back and never defended him against anything have all been welcomed in right after the election. And I will never forget the day I had to leave my mother's side as my father had brain surgery to remove cancerous tumors in order to fly to Washington, D.C. to defend President Trump and vote no against the Democrats' second impeachment in 2021. My poor father and my poor mother, it was way too much for all of us. Through it all, I never changed or went back on my campaign promises. and only disagreed in a few areas, like my stance against H-1Bs replacing American jobs, AI state moratoriums, debt for life 50-year mortgage scams, standing strongly against all involvement in foreign wars, and demanding the release of the Epstein files. Other than that, my voting record has been solidly with my party and the president. Loyalty should be a two-way street, and we should be able to vote our conscience and represent our district's interests because our job title is literally representative. America first should mean America first and only Americans first, with no other foreign country ever being attached to America first in our halls of government. Standing up for American women who were raped at 14 years old, trafficked and used by rich, powerful men should not result in me being called a traitor and threatened by the President of the United States, whom I fought for. However, while yes, hurtful, my heart remains filled with joy, my life is filled with happiness, and my true convictions remain unchanged because my self-worth is not defined by a man, but instead by God, who created everything in existence. You see, I have never valued power, titles, or attention in spite of all the wrong assumptions about me. I do not cling to those things because they are meaningless and empty traps that hold too many people in Washington. I believe in term limits and do not think Congress should be a lifelong career or an assisted living facility. My only goal and desire has ever been to hold the Republican Party accountable for the promises it makes to the American people and put America first. And I have fought against Democrats' damaging policies like the Green New Deal, wide open, deadly, unsafe border policies, and the trans agenda on children and against women. With that has brought years of nonstop, never-ending personal attacks, death threats, lawfare, ridiculous slander and lies about me that most people could never withstand even for a single day. It has been unfair and wrong, not only to me, but especially to my family, but it's been wrong to my district as well. I have too much self-respect and dignity. I love my family way too much, and I do not want my sweet district to have to endure a hurtful and hateful primary against me by the president that we all fought for, only to fight and win my election while Republicans will likely lose the midterms, and in turn be expected to defend the president against impeachment after he hatefully dumped tens of millions of dollars against me and tried to destroy me. It's all so absurd and completely unserious. I refuse to be a battered wife, hoping it all goes away and gets better. If I am cast aside by the president and the MAGA political machine and replaced by neocons, big pharma, big tech, military-industrial war complex, foreign leaders, and the elite donor class that can never, ever relate to real Americans, then many common Americans have been cast aside and replaced as well. There is no plan to save the world or a 4D chess game being played. When common American people realize and understand that the political industrial complex of both parties is ripping this country apart, that not one elected leader like me is able to stop Washington's machine from gradually destroying our country, and instead the reality is that they, common Americans, the people, possess the real power over Washington, then I'll be here by their side to rebuild it. Until then, I'm going back to the people that I love, to live my life to the fullest as I always have, and I look forward to a new path ahead. I'll be resigning from office with my last day being January 5th, 2026, and I look forward to seeing many of you again sometime in the future. May God bless you all, and may God bless America.
Well, I mean, it is what it is. So, look like she let Donald Trump kick her ass the hell up on out of there, you know, and she couldn't handle the heat. So she's stepping aside. And, hey, what's that old saying? There's no skin off my nose because I was never into no Marjorie Taylor Greene in the first place. But this got to be a big blow to their party because, you know, and she's right. At the rate that Donald Trump is going, because he's so unfavorable right now, they're on the path of really losing the midterms real badly after gaining the majority. To me, the damage is done. He came in office, and I think just from day one with him and Elon and Doge and the mass firing and all the stuff they were doing, it turned so many people off. And then when he shut down the USDA, it screwed over the farmers. They went from making billions of dollars every year off of China to zero. All right, they're not making nothing now. And they got all these soybeans that they can't move or sell. Then he went after the federal employees and started firing them all over the place. The prices kept going up when he claimed day one in office, the prices would go down. They never went down. They still continue to go up. And many feel that Donald Trump messed up the economy with all those tariffs. First, the tariff is on, then the tariff is off, then it's on, then it's off. And the problem is every time he talks about tariffs, the prices go up. And a lot of people feel housing is unaffordable, food is unaffordable, the bills are skyrocketing. And, they're already saying the heat bills are going up all around the country, and people are upset. And Donald Trump want to know why everywhere he goes, he's getting booed now. So she's just another casualty of war at the end of the day. That's all. He pushed her out, and she really was his biggest cheerleader. So that right there just goes to show you, to Donald Trump, anybody's expendable. He doesn't even care if you were once close to him. Anybody's expendable to him. He doesn't care, you know? And she just learned the hard way. She licked up on his butt, and now she's finding out it was not worth it. So, I mean, look, whether she's there or not, is that going to change our life? Hell no. Hell no. It won't change our lives at all. So, I just wanted to give you the update on that. So, I am putting together, the things I will be doing tomorrow. And listen, if you haven't gotten a chance to listen to my chat GPT that I did on the Black inventors, please get over there and listen to it. The answer from chat GPT was really good. And I think many of you will find it interesting. So if you didn't listen to it, get over there and listen to it. It's only 12 minutes out of your life. So I will see you tomorrow. Please enjoy your night, and shalom, family.